Hello everybody. It is Sunday. You are back in the kitchen with the Barlow Queen, and we are going to make an apple pie. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I do not have this recipe written out. It's on my phone. So once I upload it, I will get the recipe written down so I can type it into the description so you can have it if you want it. I am a cheater, you know that, so I am not making my pie crust. So Pillsbury makes it best. Why mess with perfection? So I've got 2 pie plates, 9 inches, and I've sprayed them. You probably don't need to spray them, but I always do. So I spray them with cooking spray, and I've got my crust in there. So we're just going to need to make the filling. So what it says to do is we're going to take brown sugar, 1/3 of a cup. I'm not going to remember all these measurements, but I know that's 1/3 of a cup. We've got maple syrup. We're going to try to get as much of that out as we can, because maple syrup is kind of thick. Okay, we've got 3 tablespoons, set that there, of cornstarch. Nothing wants to come out today. The juice of a lemon, it needs to be about 2 tablespoons. And then we've got salt, allspice, ginger, and cinnamon. I think it's a teaspoon of the cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of the allspice, the ginger, and the salt, I believe. Okay, and then it says just to whisk this together. So I'm going to try and get all that cornstarch busted up. It smells really good. And I have already cut up, I did 8 apples. I did 4 Granny Smith and 4 Gala. And then cut them into chunks. Now I'm not gonna lie, they are not all the same diameter, whatever, because we're gonna get what we could get with our hand. So they're all just kind of cut up, but it's supposed to be 11 cups. And then it says just to dump this into that. And then we're just going to stir it together. And try to get all those apples covered in this wonderful goodness. And I know some people prefer to do a crumble on the top of their apple pies. I am just not that person. I would much rather an actual apple pie crust. And I'm even contemplating stopping at Brookshire's in the morning and getting some little individual vanilla ice creams that you can buy in a bag. So when I take this to work and everybody goes, "Oh, I wish I had some ice cream to eat with my apple pie," I can be like, "Guess what? I stopped and got you some." I know, I kind of go above and beyond sometimes. But I love my work family. I love the radiology department. They're amazing. They've kind of adopted us since we're Echo. We used to be with the cath lab, and now we're redheaded stepchildren, and we moved to the radiology lab. All right, so this looks good to me. It's all good and coated. So I'm going to try to do this without making a mess, but no promises. And I actually might get a measuring cup to help. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of scoop it out into my prepared crusts. So actually, obviously, the hardest part of this was the apples. So once you get the apples cut up, everything else is a breeze. I'm going to try to do this as evenly as possible. We're going to be heading out to the deer lease about 4 o'clock, so I'm trying to get these in and get them done so we can go hunt. Music to my husband's ears. Alright, so hold on, I'm making a mess now. So I do still have some juice in the bottom, so I'll try to evenly disperse that when I get all these apples out. Just ignore the dogs. Woo! I tell y'all what, this smells really good. It will be perfect with some vanilla ice cream. Not even gonna lie. So basically what that takes, just a couple minutes to mix the stuff together once it's prepped out. I've got the oven, by the way, preheated to 370, so 375. I'm just gonna drizzle the juices over the top. Well, they look even to me. So we're actually gonna try something, because I like trying new things. So I had an idea for the top crust. So I got me a piece of parchment paper. Let me get a sharp knife. The knife I wanted, my husband moved, so I got a different one. But as you can see, well, actually you couldn't, that wasn't on camera, but it was sharp. So I'm going to take my pie crust, I'm going to put on the top. And I'm going to take this roller that I got, and we're just going to put it down. I'm going to try not to go over the edges too much. Let's see. And if this is a disaster, I won't do it again. Okay, it might be a disaster. I might not have did it hard enough onto the parchment. But it's supposed, yeah, I just didn't go down hard enough. So apparently there's a fine line between too hard and too not hard. So it's supposed to, can you see these lines? Let me get it broke apart some. And then y'all can see that I'm really not crazy. Hush, Terry, I didn't ask you. But see, it kind of does the lattice work for you. So yeah, this isn't going to be perfect, but it's still going to be pretty. Let me just make it look pretty. So then you can kind of see the apple through it. So I just kind of make up my own rules as I go along. So I always say, it don't really matter what it looks like as long as it tastes yum. So we're going with the taste yum here today. And I'm just kind of pinching it around the edges. Maybe the pie I do number 2 right there won't be such a hot mess as this one. No promises. So this almost looks like a fabulous pie. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's just cinnamon sugar. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on the top. Alright. So that's pie number 1. And we're going to see if I can do this top thing a little bit better with pie number 2. But again, no promises. Years ago, I used to make my own pie crust. But then I figured I really liked the taste of these, so why bother? Alright, we're going to try this again. Let's see. Now I'm kind of scared, but... Alright, now I'm going to pull it apart some. Let's see if y'all can see it. So it kind of cuts it for you, but you still have to pull on it. But I think this one's better than the last one. Yeah, I do. So that little gadget just takes a little bit of practice. And let me see about cutting off the extra. And yes, I know this is too big of a knife to be doing this with, but it's what I had handy. Oh, I'm not messing up another knife. I'm done now. I'm just going to kind of pinch and fold the corners. Well, there's no corners in a circle, so we're just pinching and folding the edges. And that would be Maddie. Okay, now we're going to sprinkle cinnamon sugar.
Come here. Get your bed.
So that's pie number 2. So I'm going to put these into a preheated 375 oven for 40 to 45 minutes. So I'll bring you back when I take them out. Hold on. All right, everybody. My timer has went off. So we're going to see what our pies look like. So I cooked these apple pies for about 50 minutes. Pie number 1. Ooh, they're hot and sizzling. And pie number 2. So look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. I cooked them until they were nice and golden brown. Let me get my oven turned off and my light turned off. So, even though it was a little rough with the new slicing tool for the top of the pie crust, you got to admit they turned out absolutely beautiful. And it smells amazing in my kitchen. So I will be taking these to work tomorrow and making friends. So I hope you make it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. And you can try to do something neat and pretty, or you can just put your pie crust on and just cut little slits in it for the heat to escape and for the juices to bubble. It's whatever you like. I like to try new things. But I promise, post the recipe in the comment, or actually in the description, so that you can copy it down. And thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.